Hey, Steve with Trimble again. Coming back to you quickly because I got some better advice on how to potentially solve this problem a little bit better. And this problem is how to do a floor analysis, a flatness analysis on a sloped floor. So, just to give you an idea what this project looks like, you can see here we have parking garage kind of going all the way up and down. Um, Again, you could do something similar with a user defined plane or a inspection in field link, but this is going to give me a little bit better numbers. So if I close this, this is actually the contours we created in the video right before this on just fitting a plane. But with the suggestion from Jason Hayes, who is the RealWorks expert, um, what we can do is instead use the UCS. And then I clicked create from plane, which will fit to that for the elevation. And then if I close that, you can see this is essentially best fitting that same plane. And then I can create this. What this is going to allow me to do after we see it is essentially my UCS has changed. So now my Z going up is in line with that. It's going to allow me to use the floor analysis tool, so or the floor inspection tool. So while this has changed, and obviously an elevation going up for a parking garage, I best fit for that so we can see the high and lowest places, the low places being in the middle there. We can then define the grid area after I went to inspection, select the floor inspection. And there's plenty of videos showing you how to do this for the floor analysis. But I'm going to essentially define my grid, set my spacing about 3 feet, and then I can just do a average elevation. So it'll best fit to that. And then it'll show me anything that is kind of outside of there is actually below. So that yellow plane is what we're doing. And I have a tolerance of 0.02 feet, which is a quarter inch. So there we have anything in red is higher than that. Gray is within that 0.02, and then blue would be below that. So you can kind of play with that as far as what do you want. If I wanted to make this really flat, I probably don't want to grind. I may be able to just raise this up just a little bit. So we'll raise it up half an inch, just see what that gives us. Half an inch being 0.04. And we can still see there's some still pretty significant areas below. Maybe I want to do it as a half inch tolerance too. And so the resulting analysis for this is, we'll call this garage UCS2, will be the floor inspection report. So total volume high, and then cut and fill, and then exceeds it. And then the other really nice thing is this grid map. So that will be a JPEG. If I do this again correctly, of those points and compare to that plane where they're lower and higher. So in the middle there, almost an inch below, even essentially like 6 feet over. So that's really nice. I can also with that do, if I come back to it, create the floor inspection grid, and I can even do the same thing that we did in the previous video, but do a map inspection annualizer to create contours of those high and low spots. So if I wanted to go lay them out, I could as well too. So I went to selected the grid inspection map analyzer, and then went to ISO curves is what I want. Probably need to do a little bit bigger of a interval. We'll do this at 0.02 because I think that's pretty busy. So it'll create those, and I can export those out as well too if I need to lay them out. And one thing I do want to check, and I'm going to check on this before we're completely done, is if I save them, do I want to use the same coordinate system? Selected geometries. Export frame. We're going to keep them in the home. And then I can even load that back up to connect or lay them out, as well as look at the amount of volume above and below. So exceeds tolerance 23 square feet. Below is about 90 square feet. And I can even look at square footage areas as well too. So areas above almost 3,000, area below about 4,000. So if you have any questions, please reach out to your nearest building point distributor. I'm going to pause this and upload that TWG to the same project that we did previously and make sure it matches to see if that export frame reference frame was correct. So yes, the export home reference frame was correct. As you can see here, we have the same scan going up, obviously the parking garage going up. If we turn off the scans, you can see that the contours are actually in reference to that plane. So we can see where it's dipping down in the middle and higher on the ends. But if we go to the side, you'll see that contour is also running right there. So upwards and downwards, we could lay that out if we needed to with field link, like you see here, or share the high and low that we need to fix there. So thanks.